Kaiju, turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hello, boys and ghouls, ladies and germs, collectors, one and all. It's Steven here with a new video, a review of a creature from tales long ago. A holiday tale, a spooky tale. And while our friend needs no introduction, why a scary tale like this is only fit for a co-introduction with the one, the only, the Creep. Let's all ask nicely now, and maybe Mr. Creep will bring in our guest. Yes? There he is, folks. What better way to celebrate this holiday season than with a deluxe review of the one, the only Krampus in deluxe packaging. In the Figura Obscura line, the first entry in it from the Horseman Studios. Now, this one had a surprise drop on a weekend on Krampus's Day. Of course, what other day would be fitting, for $50 plus shipping and tax. There were two order windows, one in the morning and one in the evening. This caught folks off guard, and some are now only finding out about Krampus now being on the market. However, there are rumblings of perhaps something else related to Krampus coming from what I've heard, possibly one with less accessories, maybe an entirely different Krampus. Who knows, but there has been a confirmation for more Figura Obscura figures coming, a subline of Mythic Legions. Regardless of what might come to be, Krampus now at the time of upload fetches over double MSRP on eBay, and that may be why you're here. Should you be a good little collector and spoil yourself this holiday season, or should Krampus remain in legend status, now in toy form as well? Regardless, I don't think you want Krampus coming and knocking on your door. But that's what this review is for. Let's take a look to see whether or not Krampus is worth adding into your collection, if you dare. Now, with me reviewing Krampus, I have actually not dabbled in the product of Horseman before. There have been a couple situations where I ordered some things and then I decided maybe I don't want it, so they were out of my possession. However, what I can say is I've done research on Krampus here, and I've watched what the Horseman Studio folks have posted on their YouTube, social media, and their website. Now, apparently Krampus here is using what is referred to as a 1.0 body style. So for those of you who are familiar with some of their older works, you should see a lot of things that are familiar. However, apparently they made a whole bunch of stuff here that, well, that is new for Krampus, most notably the head, and we're going to have the tufts of fur around the neck, and I think maybe the hands, I'm not quite sure, but I do know that that is going to be the big draw here for Krampus. I mean, we do have to make sure that he's going to be accurate to the source material. What's the source material? Well, they kind of sort of took a little bit of a liberty here because, well, what's the origination for Krampus? Depends on where you're going to look. So they definitely went to the drawing board, and the person who designed Krampus here for the 3D modeling and then putting it into actual production, they basically had a field day. Then it came to the Paint Master sample, and here's what we have in front of us. Now, I will say for the sculpt, honestly, there are a couple of things that, if you look at it really close in hand, you are going to notice that, yes, it is a reused body, most notably on the back. You are going to see holes and a slit there for the different parts that you would see for the other Mythic Legion figures, which, I mean, c'est la vie, that's what you get when you do have these parts and figures that you can mix and match, and you can come up with your own fantasy stuff. Totally get that. It's not that big of a deal, especially when we get to the accessories. Now, for paint and quality control, I will say there were a couple of small issues, most notably around his leg armor. When I went to go move them, the joints, there was actually a little bit of paint transfer. But otherwise, I have to say that maybe the teeth could be tightened up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Krampus, he's an all-black goat man devil beast. You can't really mess that up. Dry brushing is good. Yeah, overall, Krampus looks solid. Time to talk about how Krampus moves. And, like I made mention before, this is going to be a 1.0 body, so if you're familiar with the Mythic Legion stuff, then you know how Krampus is going to be moving. Some of the accessories are attached on here just because, you're going to see in the next section. Once you do get them attached, kind of a pain to get them off again. So it is what it is. So let's start off here and go down to here. All right, so head is going to be on a ball joint where it plugs into the neck. So Krampus can look up about that far before we're popping off. And down, no, because he's goat, and his mouth is open. He's got the goat beard. So yeah, so we can definitely twist and turn to the side. So that's going to be good. Now something not to worry about though. We're going to talk about that waist joint, which is actually kind of funny. So for the shoulders, we are going to have swivel hinge combos. So he can lift his arms up like that, sort of at a V. Not bad, but he can T-pose. That's good, right? Do we have bicep swivels? No, we do not. But we do have single hinge elbows, which plug in on a peg. Oh, well, I just noticed something, but we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, single hinge elbows, they plug in on a peg, and because of that, they do swivel around. So we're going to get, is that quite 90 degree? I don't really know. Is it? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's okay for Krampus. I do think that a double hinge elbow would be best for this dude here, but, it is what it is. So I didn't even notice this gauntlet swivels. Okay, so we're finding new articulation. Wrists. So he is going to come with 2 sets of hands, but they're going to be identical for articulation. They're going to be on swivel hinge combos. So they're going to peg in on a swivel and then hinge in and out. Okay. Now, the waist right down here. There's no ab crunch. We are going to have ball joint. And look at that movement. We can really get around. Very cool. Something I will note, be mindful of the silver, the gunmetal-ish color that is used all throughout so you don't get paint rub. Okay, so yeah, Krampus can look up in some that far with both joints and then looking down that far. Now let me go ahead and show you something I noticed. That's a green ball joint. That's all. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, we do have some bits here for the waistcoat, I guess. These are going to be a soft plastic, so not quite rubber. I don't know. Maybe they are. They don't really hinder the articulation, but stuff kind of gets caught, so just be mindful there. Now this is kind of the thing. Hips. So first and foremost, let me show you one issue I'm sort of having. Most in particular, you can kind of see with this leg. It's rather loose. Yeah. So it wasn't like that initially out the box. So that has occurred. Oh boy. When did I get it? Within a couple of days. So sometimes it wants to stay just fine. And then other times I'll put him in a pose and then he'll. So just something to keep in mind. So we are going to, let's get the balls out of there, have swivels forward and back, which is fantastic. So he can kick out just like that. Hinge out to the side. Let's get that ball jointed tail out of the way. Up. All right. So as you can see there, bada bing, bada boom. Thigh swivel, which is good. We do have a single knee hinge with all the movement that we need, which swivels as well. Very good. Ankles are going to twist and turn like that. And also they have ankle rocker movement. Very cool. So legs, they're solid. I do need to tighten up the hip joints though. I do need to do that. Tail. So this is, not going to be attached when taking him out of the box. This is going to be on a ball joint. The ball joint is really hard. So make sure you heat up his hole. Yeah. To make it soft, to pop the tail in. Just something to be careful about. You can use hot water. You can use a blow dryer. Just be careful. Make sure you're not going to damage anything or warp anything. Just a little bit of heat, and then you'll be able to get that in. All right. So otherwise for articulation, we're basically, we're doing good. Overall, Krampus does move rather well. If you know how to pose your figures, you've got plenty to work with here. But otherwise, yeah, just maybe double hinges. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Accessories time. Now for good old Krampus here, we get an alternate set of hands. It's going to be fists, his ruten, or bundle of birch, his basket with some twine to hold it around his back, shackles, and, get ready for this, skeleton parts. Ooh, he does come with bells too, but those are rather essential, I think, not necessarily an accessory. And you already saw those. Now, here's the fun part. This release was a deluxe packaging release, so you're going to get a nice special box. Ooh, we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at that later. Now, is that going to be everything that comes with this release of Krampus? Not quite. So let's go ahead and break everything down. Now, that alternate set of hands and the ruten he comes with. So, ruten, bundle of birch, bundle of sticks. He's going to be using this to swat all the bad kids on the head. And then he's going to throw them into his basket on his back and take them away to eat them or do whatever he's going to do with them. Hopefully we don't have to call CPS. Now, with those alternate set of hands, I did say that it comes with fists. Kind of, sort of not telling the truth there. So Krampus comes with sort of splayed hands by default. Fantastic. You guys get thumbs up there. The other set of hands, they're fists, but they're slightly open, so this way he has a better grip on his ruten. So you can get him to hold his bundle of sticks with his slightly splayed hands, or you can have a more secure grip with the other set of hands. Let's continue on. I'll circle back in a minute here. Now, his basket on his back, very cool in terms of sculpt and paint application here. I really get the idea that this is maybe a wicker basket. Very nice. The only issue is that there is a clear, I guess you might call it a rubber band, that goes around it to hold the top of the basket on. If you lose this band, that top, it's not going to stay on. You're probably going to lose it. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing. Now, you are going to get some, I would basically call it twine. It's just a little bit of rope. That is going to go through a little loop on the basket, and then you can tie that around Krampus's shoulders, and then that's how he's going to carry it around. You can do this in all sorts of different ways. Knowing square knots like the back of my hand, and I just know how to untie those. That's basically what I do. I kind of show you a little bit of how I do it here personally. I prefer to pop Krampus's head off along with that tuft of fur around his neck. You can easily do that, and that's where you're really going to see the parts on his back for where the different accessories for other Mythic Legion stuff would pop in. Maybe that's an idea if you have some other stuff. Yeah, I like to pop that off, and then what I like to do is just make 2 loops around the shoulders and then tie it around his back. I know that in some pictures I'm going to show you here in a little bit, because this is going to be a deluxe review, you're going to see that the twine sort of reaches over and it kind of looks unkempt. I personally love that, so that's just on brand for me. Yeah. Now, shackles. These are pretty cool, and I really like to make him look a bit more expressive with this. So obviously, they're going to be more so akin to handcuffs. That's kind of sort of how they're advertised. But the way that I sort of like to display my Krampus is going to be one cuffed onto his right wrist, and the other one is going up on his left horn. I think it looks cool, looks deranged. If it's Krampus, that's just me. Now, the skeleton parts. So the guys were very coy with what was in the basket when they were asked about this on the live stream for what Krampus came with. And they straight up said, we're not answering that question. So when you open this up, when you get it, we get 2 skulls and we get 2 skeleton hands. Awesome. Also of note, we get this belt thing. I don't know what it's used for. But anyway, those skeleton hands and one of the skulls, I believe this is a 1.0 skull. I'm not quite sure myself. If you want to scale a Krampus, knock your socks off, bud. You can do that. So have fun there. All right, so that is going to be about it for the accessories that come with Krampus. And realistically speaking, unless you're doing some sort of real Omega deep dive into the lore, I don't know what else this guy can come with. Maybe a Santa robe of some sort, but even then, I'm sure they're going to do a Figura Obscura Santa, and I'm sure you can swap parts. But hey, you know, if you need a support stand or you want effects like maybe fire or ice, you know, I got videos to help you out there. Now, we're not done with the accessories yet. Let's talk about the box, because the box is actually going to be important to this release. Now, for the actual box in and of itself, it's going to be a standard Mythic Legion style box from what I've been able to see. We're going to have, you know, the front, the back, sides, so forth. We're going to have a nice little window display so this way you can see in. When I got Krampus, I was too excited, so I didn't take pictures of him inside the box. My apologies. But honestly, this isn't the attraction here. What is he actually comes with a foldable cover that is attached by magnets. Cool. What is this foldable cover? It's meant to be a diorama backdrop. So this way you can put Krampus up on your shelf and he has a nice winter scene to come on out of. Ooh, there's a lot of ooh, ahs in this video, so I hope you're enjoying that. Super 7 vibes. Anyway, yeah, this is really neat. So if you're one of those types of folks who really likes to spruce up their displays and you like to have your figures, I don't know, actually interacting with things and not just standing in a boring pose on your shelf, then this is going to be really, really cool for you. Now, what if I said we weren't done? Unfortunately, this figure was marketed as being in stock, ready to ship tomorrow, and it didn't quite happen. But Horseman Studios decided to say, hey, you know what? We had other things that were going to be sold alongside Krampus, which included a mug, a pin, and some holiday cards. And, well, Krampus didn't exactly ship out on the nose when he was supposed to everyone. So there was a little bit of a delay, and to make up for it, they went ahead and they threw in one holiday card for everyone who bought Krampus. So cool, you got a little extra bonus. So I guess that's by default an accessory for Krampus. Kind of, sort of, not really, but hey, it is what it is. Now, it looks neat. All right, that's about all I got for the accessories. Nothing really else to say except for let's go right on over to a size comparison. And quite frankly, I don't know what else you may need here to help you figure out how big Krampus is, unless you're looking for a specific Mythic Legion size comparison, which unfortunately, this is going to be the only one that I have. Otherwise, I do think that I sort of gave you a good idea of how big Krampus is going to be. And quite frankly, for what Krampus is, I think he's the perfect size for whatever display you're going to have. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Generally speaking, for picking him up at MSRP, great figure. Love everything about him. He looks great. The articulation in the hips, you know, he's kind of given out, but otherwise I can put him in pretty much any pose that I want, and I can fix up that articulation issue. No big deal. The accessories are fantastic, and they are on point, as the kids like to say, for Krampus, and I don't really think there could have been anything else, and you can supplement it with, you know, whatever comes else on the aftermarket. Now, they did promise more Figura Obscura stuff, and I'm very excited to see what may be coming. But the big thing is now you can't get this one. So we're talking about this one. We're not talking about hypotheticals. I've seen this guy go on eBay for about $150. That's a lot of money. I don't think that I would feel comfortable paying $150 for Krampus. But at the same time, what I have here in front of me, it's very good. So the decision to buy this, it's going to go back to you. You're going to have to make that choice. Now, with that being said, like I said at the top, this is going to be a deluxe review. So we've covered everything about Krampus. Now we have a nice photo gallery of Krampus doing what he does best alongside some other figures. So that's going to be about it for the review. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate that you did. Please subscribe if you can. And by the way, all patrons got access to all of the pictures you're about to see and a bit more ahead of everyone else who got to see this video. So if you are interested, you maybe feel like helping out, please do so. And as well, we do have a little bit of a fundraiser going on for this holiday season. So thank you so much for watching. If there's anything you can give to help support for the fundraiser, that would be fantastic. Hope you have a good holiday season. That's about all I got. I'm going to stop talking. It's going on for too long. Take care. Well wishes this holiday season.